Good afternoon. The 10,113 meeting of the Security Council is called to order. I would like to take this opportunity to pay tribute on behalf of the Council to the delegation of the United Kingdom for its service as President of the Council for the month of February. I'm sure I speak for all members of the Council in expressing deep appreciation to the entire United Kingdom team for the great diplomatic skill with which they conducted the Council's business last month. The provisional agenda for this meeting is maintenance of international peace and security, children, technology, and education in conflict. The agenda is adopted. In accordance with the Rule 39 of the Council's Provisional Rules of Procedure, I invite Ms. Rosemary DiCarlo, Under-Secretary General of Political and Peace-Building Affairs, to participate in this meeting. It is so decided. The Security Council will now begin its consideration of item 2 of the agenda. I now give the floor to Ms. Rosemary DiCarlo.
Thank you, Madam President. On behalf of the Secretary General, I want to thank you for your leadership in organizing today's discussion. This debate comes at a moment of exceptional relevance. Today, we face the highest number of armed conflicts since the Second World War. The number of civilians killed in these conflicts is the highest in decades. Our reality is clear. When conflicts erupt, children are among those most severely affected. We have been reminded of this truth over the last 2 days. Schools in Israel, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Bahrain, and Oman have closed and moved to remote learning owing to the ongoing military operations in the region. And we are aware of the reports from Iran about the death of possibly dozens of children, allegedly as the result of a strike that hit an elementary school in the town of Minab. United States authorities have announced they are looking into these reports. Globally, 1 in every 5 children is living in or fleeing a conflict zone. This adds up to 473 million children. Grave violations against children, verified by the United Nations, increased by a staggering 25% from 2023 to 2024. Rape and other forms of sexual violence rose by 35%. These horrific figures should impel us to do more to protect children in conflict. I pay tribute to the First Lady of the United States for her work to give visibility to the issue of children in conflict, and particularly for her personal engagement to reunite Ukrainian children with their families. Madam President, when conflicts do not rob children of their life and physical security, they deprive them of the right to have a quality education and a future of opportunities. 234 million children in crisis and conflict situations currently need educational support. 85 million are completely out of school. In violent conflicts, schools can be one of the only safe spaces that protect children from recruitment, trafficking, and exploitation. Schools can safeguard health and hygiene, provide psychosocial support, and connect families to essential services. Education in conflict zones is life-saving and life-sustaining. And yet schools, teachers, and education infrastructure continue to suffer violence. In 2024 alone, the United Nations verified a total of 2,374 attacks on schools and hospitals. Many more are unverified due to a lack of access. Most attacks in 2024 took place in Ukraine, Israel, the occupied Palestinian territory, and Haiti. In its resolution 2601, the Council urged all conflict parties to immediately cease attacks against schools, children, and teachers, and noted that such attacks are in contravention of international humanitarian law. It called on all parties to safeguard, protect, respect, and promote the right to education. The international legal framework is clear. We must act. Madam President, the challenges of providing quality education in conflict situations are tremendous. Infrastructure, from electricity to classrooms to digital connectivity, is often crumbling or at risk. Educators are few and far between. We face a shortage of 44 million teachers in conflict settings. Digital learning can offer access to education when schools are closed or inaccessible, or when students are fleeing violence. And the UN has made a concerted investment in these approaches. Private-public partnerships, when grounded in strong ethical frameworks, can help us deliver and expand access to innovative education technologies. For example, UNICEF's Learning Passport, developed in partnership with Microsoft, offers 10 million children in 47 countries a mobile learning platform where they can have continuous access to quality education. The Instant Network Schools program, a joint project of the Vodafone Foundation and UNHCR, allows refugees and teachers to access digital educational content and the internet, improving the quality of education in some of the most marginalized communities in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and South Sudan. Technology allows education to reach the most vulnerable and those excluded from the formal educational system. In Afghanistan, to respond to the exclusion of 2.2 million girls from education, UNESCO is mobilizing digital technologies to bring learning directly into the homes and communities, reaching close to 9,000 school communities in the country. To ensure that opportunities provided by technology are realized, we must mitigate its risks. Children in conflict face heightened online threats, exploitation, trafficking, radicalization, digital recruitment into armed groups, and cyberbullying. Digital education must therefore actively promote child protection with risk assessments at every stage, from conception to deployment. We must strengthen legal and policy frameworks to protect the rights of the child in the digital space, in line with international human rights law. Technology companies have a particular role to play in providing safeguards to their users, especially children and young people. Unfortunately, funding for education in emergencies has dropped by 24%, even though needs are increasing. We call on member states to do more to meet funding gaps in education. Madam President, the most effective way to protect children from conflict is to prevent and end wars. Building peace is at the heart of what the United Nations does. We must all work together toward this goal. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. I thank Ms. DiCarlo for her briefing. I shall now make a statement in my capacity as First Lady of the United States. First, my heartfelt condolences to the families who have lost their heroes, who sacrificed their lives for freedom. Their bravery and dedication will always be remembered. I extend my earnest wishes for a swift and smooth recovery to all those who have been injured. You are in my thoughts and prayers during these challenging times. The U.S. stands with all of the children throughout the world. I hope soon, peace will be yours. Ambassador Waltz, I'm grateful for the distinguished honor to preside over the United Nations Security Council as the United States assumes its presidency. Undersecretary General DiCarlo, thank you for welcoming me here today. Your generosity reflects the dignity with which you hold your post. Thank you for your warm welcome, United Kingdom, France, Russian Federation, China, Greece, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Denmark, Panama, Liberia, Somalia, Colombia, Pakistan, Bahrain, and Latvia. Collectively, your mission to maintain security while upholding the responsibility of preventing conflict during times of both war and peace is significant, must be applied evenly, and should never be carried out lightly. Peace does not need to be fragile. Enduring peace will be achieved when knowledge and understanding are fully valued within all societies. The value placed on education by nations' leaders shape the core of their country's belief system. A nation that makes learning sacred protects its books, its language, its science, and its mathematics. It protects its future. This leads to something powerful, to greater understanding, moral reasoning, and tolerance of others. Peace. Children raised in a culture rooted in intelligence develop confidence, innovate, build, compete, and maintain a deep value system. Their knowledge fosters empathy for others, transcending geography, religion, race, gender, and even local norms. They become caring people. But children raised in culture rooted in ignorance are surrounded by disorder and sometimes even conflict. These societies are filled with rigid thinkers who embrace prejudice and shun human dignity. When a nation restricts thought, it restricts its own future. Education is widely recognized as a fundamental human right, and yet today, so many children and young adults are banned from attending secondary schools and universities. The cost is not abstract. Imagine the loss of potential to our collective humanity, new medical breakthroughs, advancement in food security, groundbreaking technologies, all gone. A society that excludes vast segments of its population can realize only a fraction of its potential. Societies ruled by knowledge and wisdom are therefore more peaceful. We must cultivate a just moral imagination for the next generation, for our children, building an infrastructure of understanding. Knowledge is a power. It shapes titans of industry and inspires courageous social pioneers. We must capture this positive energy and ignite it across continents to transform our world throughout our digitally connected human race. Intellect blossoms humanity's fundamental needs: shelter, food security, clean water, and healthcare. And predictably, almost all communities will have access to knowledge within our lifetimes. The global community must facilitate complete access to technology so that every individual can reach their full potential through education. We must strive to achieve connectivity in the most remote locations and the furthest distances from our cities. This objective is entirely feasible and is already on the way. Today, roughly 6 billion individuals, about 70% of people on planet Earth, have a mobile device and use the internet. If our nations band together, we can close the technological divide, empowering all to reach their full potential. From a solitary farmer on a remote Greek island to a quiet genius in Somalia or a dreamer in uptown Manhattan, anyone can read the vast treasury of human knowledge created over centuries, which is now codified and accessible through artificial intelligence. As a single digital nation state inevitable, perhaps this idea isn't so far-fetched, since digital currency and payment system via blockchain plus AI's massive factual database is already revolutionizing media and financial markets. We are in the age of imagination, a period where technology can be free and unrestricted by land borders. Indeed, now is the time for our generation to elevate our children above ideology through access to wisdom. AI is democratizing knowledge, which was once confined to university libraries. AI is creating a new reality for our children by distributing the traditional academic path to information. Today, almost anyone, anywhere can access a vast universe of data in the palm of their hand. Let's connect everyone to knowledge through AI, including those in the most remote geographic regions of our world. Look at what this truly means. In a matter of seconds, without travel, one can quickly learn about another's beliefs, religions, customs, and histories. We are open, and it is empowering. AI can provide us with an understanding of each other's needs and the needs of our children. AI is redefining who gets to participate in the global economy of ideas. I believe our shared intellect future will prove to be a more secure, harmonious, advanced civilization. The path to peace depends on us taking responsibility to empower our children through education and technology. Conflict arises from ignorance, but knowledge creates understanding, replacing fear with peace and unity. Security Council members, I encourage you to pledge to safeguard learning in our communities and promote access to heightened education for all. I implore you to build a future generation of leaders who embrace peace through education. Thank you. I resume my function as President of the Council. I give the floor to the representative of Greece.
Thank you, Madam President. First Lady of the United States, Ms. Melania Trump, I would like to thank you for chairing this important meeting and for highlighting one of the most urgent challenges of our time.